So, believe it or not, I got my first job as an IT project manager at a large multinational IT company by just answering one question correctly. Now, that doesn't mean the whole interview lasted for 2 minutes and they asked me one question and I answered it correctly and they said, oh, well, you got the job. That's not how it happened. I'll give you the entire story so that you have some context. And towards the end, I'll also kind of share what could be good takeaways from this personal story. So let's get started. So I was right out of college and I was looking for something related to project management because project management was actually a subject that I had studied in my college and I really, really liked it. So there came this opportunity and I applied for it and I got called up. And lo and behold, I'm sitting in an interview for this job. And the interview went on for, I think, about close to 45 minutes. And after that, the entire process of hiring and everything began. I cleared the interview. A few months later, in that same company, I met the person who interviewed me and I asked him, I was curious to know, I asked him how was his impression of me in the job interview. And he said, well, I hired you in the first few minutes itself. That left me wondering why did the interview lasted so long if the decision of hiring was made in the first few minutes. So I probed more, but before we go there, I'd also like to mention how there are several studies done which basically prove the point that the hiring decision is actually made in the first few minutes of your job interview itself. The way you're dressed, the way you speak, the way you are able to answer the questions, right? The way you put across your points, all of that, people make snap judgments and snap impressions based on all these indicators, and they basically make up their mind in the first few minutes of the interview itself whether they are going to hire you or not. It is very rare that towards the course of the interview, 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the interviewer sort of is still analyzing or still thinking, or you are able to change his or her mind about the hiring decision. So that is very rare. Most of the times, the interviewers basically take a call whether they are going to hire you or not in the first few minutes itself. And this is even more applicable for entry level positions. And remember, I told you that I was right out of college. This was an entry level project manager position. So, coming back to the conversation that I had with my interviewer, after, of course, joining the company and spending a few months there, I asked him that, I'm curious to know how did you take a call of hiring me in the first few minutes itself? And he said it was just one question. And I asked, what was that question? And what was my answer? I would obviously recall so that, I could give tips to others as well that these are the kind of questions you can expect and the answers that you should give to be able to get jobs like these. But it really depends on the context. And here's the thing, my interview, when it started, right, it was the usual questions. Tell me about yourself. What do you know about project management? What do you know about our company? And I was trying to, basically answer these questions the best possible way that I can. And you would, of course, have your own way of answering questions like these, the initial questions. So I was also trying to relate my experience in the college. I was part of the cultural committee. I was leading and organizing several college level and inter college level events. So, and I had obviously studied project management as well as a subject in my academics. So, what I was trying to put across was that I've studied project management, so I really like project management. I can speak about project management. And secondly, I have basically organized so many college level and inter college level events that I can treat them as projects, and I can say that I have some sort of experience at my college level to manage projects like these. So I think I will do a good job if I have this opportunity of managing projects at a corporate level as well. And that is when this key question came in. The interviewer asked me, okay, Shoaib, You already know what a project charter is. You have just spoke about it. So I give you a project charter. I am the project sponsor. I give you the charter. You are the project manager. You know the high level requirements of the project. What is the first thing that you're going to do after getting this charter? So I thought about it and I was not able to recall any textbook answer for this. So I said, I tried to bring in my college level event organizing experience. And I said, well, the first thing I would do is to look at the charter, understand the requirements the best I can, and then form a project team. I will gather the team resources that are needed so that we all together can go over the requirements. I would like to have a team that understands the requirements based on my understanding of the requirements, of course. For example, if it's a Java based project, I would like to have Java based SMEs in my team, right? If it's a project that's related to, let's say, a telecommunication related project, right? A project that's related to a telco industry, I'd like to see if I can get a telco SME. So I would like to have people in my team that understand what this project is about, that understand the technical aspect of it, so that we can actually start the work on this project. So my answer was, the first thing I would do is to create a project team, gather people and create a project team. And that was the answer that he told me that got me the job. He was impressed by this answer and he said that it showcased that you have actually done project management sort of work on the ground in real life as well. So, the key takeaway here is having academic knowledge of project management is fine, but also having practical knowledge, having been delivered projects for real, matters most. The reason I see so many people who have done their PMPs and are still struggling to find a job is that they somehow lack the project management on the ground experience of project management, right? And that is the reason why they are not able to answer questions like these that pertain to practical project management, real life project management. So I always say this: go for PMP only if you are doing project management on your current role. Go for PMP if you already know what project management is, because then it will take you a notch higher and then you will be able to crack interviews just like that, because now you can also speak the global project management language. You have the number one project management certification on your resume and you know your stuff, right? So that's all in this video. I hope you got some value out of it. We have loads of videos on PMP preparation, on project management. Subscribe to us and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.